last thing you're thinking about right now is, oh, what's going to be the tone of Mitt Romney and President Obama? What they want to know is, what are you going to do? How are you going to make my life better over the next 4 years? We spend more time focused talking about what I consider to be, when I say we, meaning a broad media, superficial stuff like what color tie they had on, how were they standing, were they sighing, as opposed to what did they say. That's what matters to somebody sitting out there who hasn't made their mind up. It's interesting. He gave a speech similar to that when he was senator, when there was an outbreak of violence that took place back in 2006. But obviously, as president, it's a whole different deal. We've got to get out of our houses and not just say it's a doggone shame this is happening. And really, I think as a community organizer, he used to be, call on that aspect of his background to engage the nation and say, you've got to do something where you live. Because the people who are shooting, those are somebody's kids.
Let me ask you this. You heard me talk about there a bit about my father. And do you hear those stories all the time as you travel? Men who, they feel a pain, whether it's a leg, anywhere in the body, they don't go to the doctor.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, guys are reluctant to go to the doctor. So the wives, we got to push your man to do so.
You mentioned in terms of what women should do. I've talked about this issue around the country. And I've been telling married women, look, okay, you want to get your man's attention and say, no doctor, no sex. Trust me, he probably will listen.
Talk about creative ways. I mean, and so look, you got parents out there who are saying, First Lady Obama, look, I agree with you.
Yep.
I'm with you on that one.
Yep.
I'm with you when it comes to
Yep.
changing what we eat. But they're saying the exact same thing that you experience.
Yeah.
Time,
Absolutely.
where do I buy the stuff from? And
Absolutely.
so what do you tell that woman, that mother, that man, that husband, that father? This is how you start.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
to actually put this in place now.
For me, it is important when I see brothers truly representing on the screen and making it clear, as Dave Chappelle said, I'm not going to be a buffoon. I like comedy. I like those things. But I do think it's important when we see us walking tall, demanding respect, and not simply bowing down to somebody else's stereotype of who we are.
The fact of the matter is, we should be protesting Wall Street. We bail their butts out, improve their bottom line, and what do they do to us? Slap us with more fees. That, to me, is offensive. I know what the forces are outside my house. So if I am properly preparing that son inside of my house, it doesn't matter what they are throwing outside of that house. And when they sit here and question what happens, you can look up 20 years later and say, see where I am now, see where I'm going. This is what happens when you continue to do God's will, and he will continue to anoint all that you do. When you want to operate as an elite ball player, you might have to change your game. Think about when Gail Goodrich, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, and Will Chamberlain all played for the Lakers.
That's right.
That's 4 major egos. Think about when you had Magic, Kareem, Worthy, McAdoo. You had lots of egos there. Right. And so if you're Dwight, you need to recognize if you want to win, you might have to make some adjustments. There is a problem when you have Democrats who need to take a blue pill called political Viagra because they are impotent in many ways because they don't want to wield power. My deal is if you have power, use it. You have to use the power when you have it, or if you don't, you might lose it.
You want to know my occupation? I get paid to rock the nation. Roland.
Hold it now.
Roland Martin from our Washington, D.C. studios. Good morning.
Good morning, folks. Hope all is well. Yesterday, we found the results of the Baseball Hall of Fame, and for the first time in a number of years, not a single player was elected into the Hall of Fame.
A hard-hitting journalist and a syndicated columnist. Please welcome one of the hardest-hitting brothers in Washington, the host of Washington Watch, Mr. Roland Martin.
to take a moment to talk about a story that's been overlooked.
We have political punks
There,
in Washington,
right there.
D.C.
Look, there it is. On national television in front of millions, no, CNN, in front of some viewers, CNN's Roland Martin wore an ascot. I love this guy. He's a very smart guy. He's fun to watch on television.
Coming up, the moment we have all been waiting for. Roland Martin ready to rumble. Why nobody makes fun of his ascot, not even Jon Stewart.
Roland Martin, do you want to go toe-to-toe with Stu Beef?
Jon Stewart asked why. Why wear an ascot on national television? We have abandoned the stylistic principles of the Founding Fathers and their wigs and top hats and ruffled tops for the god-awful look of flip-flops and T-shirts. Join me in this fight and accept this call to arms, and may we all rediscover what it means to be an American. We are, Mary, the United States of Ascot.
You win this round, Roland.